little bit of a pile. I'm going to be looking at what graphic novels I've picked up in the past week. This is excluding 3 DC Finest and 1 DC Combat because I do those in separate videos. So look at these other ones. It's a real mix of different genres. I do have another book coming this week, which is another book by the writer artist Jason, which I showed you one of his books previously. Just can't believe I'm guessing it now, but I'll do a separate thing for that. But this is just look at. This is not a review. I've not read any of them. Well, I've read one of them, but in different format. If you get what I mean, get what I mean. So just one solo solitary manga book. Yeah, there will be another video coming up because I've got another manga book coming, and it's one of my most sought after books, whatever genre, whether it's manga or American or English, that I've wanted to read. So that'll be coming up as well this coming week. But this is a really beautiful, charming book called Record Journey from Titan Manga. That cover, just wonderful. Oh, 1 second. And we're back. Sorry, I wasn't sure if I had my microphone on. So, yeah, I do. Let me just. New dress, and I'm not used to it. So things are moving about what shouldn't be. So, as I was saying, I got this. This is one of the first book I got. So it's called Record Journey by Ochiro Kazuka. I think I could be reading this soon because it just looks really nice. That's the back cover. It says a love letter to music, vinyl, and people who find meaning in collecting it. An LP in manga form, it weaves stories about music and memories together. I adore music, so sweet spot hit already. It says a record shop nestled in a quiet Tokyo neighborhood, a pirate radio ship batting the waves of the ocean, a globally renowned band on tour, bootleggers under an oppressive regime. All these stories involve individuals moving the needle, are connected by vinyl and the power of music. So it's just £9.99 in the UK, $12.99 in the US, $60.99 in Canada. The artwork is wonderful. I love, 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 love the artwork in this. It's quite a small book, so it's smaller than the DC Compact. It just looks a really good, charming slice of life. That was for the pirate station. Yeah, I can't wait. I'll definitely be doing a review of this once I've read it, but it just looks really charming and nice. I have picked up some Marvel Premier books. I think I mentioned last time in one of my hauls, I got the Marvel Premier Planet Hulk. So this was fresh out today. Marvel Premier Collection Divisions by Tom King and Gabriel Hernandez Walter. It collects all the issues. There's a bit of back matter about the process for the art, both the art and the writing. I've never read this, so I'm really really pleased that this came out in this format. And I can't wait to dive in because this is the book that made Tom King's name before he moved over to DC. So yeah, happy with that. And the other book I have got this in another format. I got it, but it's one of those Hatchet books. And because I don't buy the Hatchet books, I didn't buy them religiously. It just looks odd on my shelf because it's you get like this on the spine. You get this part of an illustration, but not. It doesn't make because you only get a few. You can't tell what it is. It looks just messy. It just doesn't. It really sort of triggers my OCD. So I'll get it in this format because I'm collecting this range. So I got Daredevil Born Again. This is the Frank Miller classic, of course, with beautiful David Mazzucchelli artwork. Now, because this is a slimmer book, there's a lot of back matter. But to be honest, I wish they'd just lost a few dollars off to make it cheaper. So all that is back matter. It's about 50 pages of back matter. So it's got the script. I'm never going to read that. It's got the sketch layouts and so on. But yeah, happy to have it. Um, I'm kind of growing to like this format, but it's not as good as DC Compact because it's neither one thing nor the other. The size is just this weird size. But I like that they are got doing you know, evergreen runs in this format. Now, I was going to pick up the compact. I did have it ordered. The compact Spider-Man Brand New Day, which is like the proper compact size. I was talking to somebody in my comments today. I was talking for about an hour and a half, and they said that they took one of the people who worked there, one of the friends who worked there. They took a copy home to read, see what it was like, and it's a butcher's job. Apparently, it's just like little shots. They just picked little bits, stories from different parts of the Brand New Day storyline, because the storyline went on for years, about 2 or 3 years, and so it doesn't have the beginning of Brand New Day, so it doesn't give you the idea of what was going on, and it's just like these segments of stories. I just cancel. I thought I'll cancel it. I don't want that. What I do like. What? 1 second. I'm gonna pause. Need a drink. And we're back. Um. Oh yeah. What I do like about buying comics, in particular Marvel collections in the UK, we have Panini as a choice option. That's a British company, and they like do their own collections of Marvel editions. And one that I did a while ago is just Hulk, Banner, the End. So this compiles the classic Richard Corbin and was it Brian Azzarello? Yeah, Brian Azzarello and Richard Corbin 4-issue miniseries, and also the Peter David and Dale Keown Hulk, the End. Two of the best Hulk comics ever. Period. In a nice handy form, just to show the difference between Marvel America and Panini. The Panini books have really firm cardstock cover. The paper is really high quality. There's no bleed through because it's not semi-transparent like the American ones. It's just the best format for reading Marvel comics. So as I said, this comprises of the wonderful Richard Corbin book storyline, which if you've never read it, I highly recommend hunting it out. It's just wonderful. And then you've got the Peter David and Dale Keown one, which is some of Dale Keown's best artwork. It's just a shame he's a Comicsgate shill nowadays, and he's just become a shell of what he was, as most of the Comicsgate ones do, because they're just full of bitterness. But there we go. But yeah, wonderful. If you're in the UK, highly recommend picking this up. It's just a great, great, great collection. I will be doing a review of that eventually. And yeah, I have now completed Nemesis, the Warlock. I got this for £14. And they said, like new from called We Sell Books or something, I've forgotten. It should have been, this normally retails £29.99, because it's the final one. There's quite a lot of more pages than the normal Nemesis ones. It was on their website that said as new for £17.99, but they'd incorporated a voucher into the system as well. So I got it for £14. I have never read this part of Nemesis. This was like a blank. I didn't read 2000 AD for about 3 or 4 years. So there's a gap in my 2000 AD history, and this is that gap. And it's amazing. So you've got the artists on this are Kevin O'Neill, Henry Flint, and Chris Weston. I think there's some other artists. Oh yeah, and Carl Critchlow. So you have the painted artwork. This is very early Chris Weston artwork. He's really refined his artwork now. If you look at things like the filth, etc. Clint Langley artwork. And one of my favourite ones of the more modern era of 2000 AD artists, Henry Flint does a long run, and he's such a wonderful, fantastic, beautiful artist. Who's this? Is that Flint as well? Yeah, just beautiful. What I like about, you can see his art's evolving as it goes on. It gets more and more deranged. And there's a beautiful final story featuring Nemesis with team back on it, Kevin O'Neill and Pat Mills. But like I said, this is chunkier one than normal, and some extra art in the back. Really happy with this. This is the, if people said to me, recommend one 2000 AD story to somebody who's never read 2000 AD, without even thinking twice, I'd straight away say Nemesis. This is one of my favourite comic stories, period. It's just nothing else out there like it. It's just wonderful. And I've got it all now. I've got all 5. I am going to be doing a video once I've read all 5 books to give you like a big, all-encompassing look at the world of Nemesis and how it evolved over time. And then I harped on about this on Threads, which if you want to be part of an inclusive comics community online, Threads is fantastic. This is from Magnetic Press. This is The Beast. It's part 1 of 2. Second one's come out, but it looks like it's got huge delays to get into the UK. You can tell it's Magnetic Press. They do rounded edges, which I really like. They specialise in publishing like the cream of European books, or books from South America as well. So just look at that cover. This is basically like the Dark Knight Returns version of a European classic character called, I'm going to butcher this, Marsupilami, which is this animal here, which the original series was very much like tongue-in-cheek, light-hearted, like with like a Lucky Luke kind of art style, or Asterix kind of art style. This is like more of a real-world reimagining. The art is gorgeous. Again, I will be doing a review of this. So the synopsis, it says, the species existed long before we named it Marsupilami, endowed with an oversized tail, impressive strength, great intelligence, a gift for empathy, and a ferocious appetite. The animal proved to be a real challenge for zoologists. It was the true story of an animal that lost its way in the rain-soaked Belgium of 1955. This is $24.99 in America, $33.99 Canadian. Cost me $17.99 from the Bezos site. Unfortunately, they were the only ones who had it in stock in the UK. And yeah, it just looks gorgeous. So pleased with that. And I've got a Grail book. I again chatted about this on Threads. This is from my eBay seller, who I won't divulge their identity because they sell everything that I want. This, I didn't know this came out in a book form. It's The American by Mark Verheiden, with art by Chris Warner of Predator fame and Black Cross, Grant Main and Doug Braithwaite. It's got backup illustrations by Frank Miller, Mike Mignola, and Jim Lee. This came out years before Ed Brubaker's run on Captain America. And if you like Ed Brubaker's run on Captain America, where he kind of like flipped the script on Captain America and made it a not Cold War, but a espionage and political espionage kind of thriller. This did all that years before. This is very much like Captain America meets the Manchurian Candidates. It says here, he's the ultimate American hero, an indestructible symbol of hope and courage for an entire nation, a one-man army standing tall for the freedom, justice, and the American way. But what about truth? When reporter Dennis Howe is assigned to cover a story about his boyhood hero, he begins to see the cracks in the legend. Does the American have feet of clay, or is he himself a victim of a larger conspiracy? It says, created by screenwriter Mark Verheiden, The Mask and Smallville, the American wowed readers and critics with its smart blend of gritty realism, cultural commentary, and dark humour set against the old surreal backdrop of an America polarised. Oh, God. The dark humour set against the old surreal backdrop of America polarised into warring ideological camps, facing off across an ever-widening gulf of mistrust and media distortion. So this collects all the short stories. I think it was like the original series, which I think was about 10 issues or so, and then there's a mini-series as well, and one-shots. So it collects it all. The art's just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. All in black and white. Chris Warner's one of my favourite artists. There's just something very good and dependable about his artwork. He also did the first Terminator miniseries as well. Then Grant Main comes on a little bit later. He's very similar. And Doug Braithwaite as well. Here's Doug Braithwaite. Of course, he's now found fame with Conan. It's just fantastic. It's a wonderful, wonderful series. It's great for like a jaded superhero reader like me, where it brings an added dash of realism to it. Yeah, can't wait to get into this as well. I've got so much stuff to read, and that's how I like it. Okay, hope you enjoyed that. Like I said, there will be 2 more videos. There'll be a look at a DC Compact, the latest one, and 3, the DC Finest, what I picked up this week. Okay, bye.